What is up, guys and gals? It's me, Thomas 1 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Revenge of the Fallen Hunt for the Decepticons Voyager class Optimus Prime. Now, yes, we're taking a look at an oldie but a goodie. Today we're going to be doing this on a Retro Wednesday or Thrifty Thursday or whenever you're watching this. But yeah, we're going to be taking a look at the Hunt for the Decepticons Voyager class Optimus Prime. And back in 2009, if you wanted to get an Optimus Prime, if you did not have the money to buy this guy, then you bought this guy. And if you didn't have the money to buy this guy, then you didn't buy an Optimus Prime at all. And the only line to have a deluxe Voyager, or to have one Optimus Prime in every single classification of Transformers, is Dark of the Moon. At least to my knowledge, that's the only one that I'm aware of where an Optimus Prime is in every single classification. There's an Optimus Prime in the Core class / the what was it? The Scout, or not Scout class, the Legends class. And then as soon as Legends class was over, you had you had Scout class, and there was an Optimus Prime in that one, if I'm not mistaken. And then as soon as you had Scout class, then you had Deluxe class. There was definitely a Voyager in that one. Or there was not a Voyager. There was definitely a figure in that line, or in the Deluxe classification. Then you had the Voyager. They had that one, and then you had the Leader class, which is just a retool, or not even retool. It's just a slight revamp of the Revenge of the Fallen one. So, but this one got a repaint in Dark of the Moon as well, and I will say that one sucked. This one was the one you wanted to get. So, in terms of the figure itself, I'm going to be very honest with you guys. This thing is basically just the Leader Class one, just scaled down. And it's going to show in the transformation. Like, I'm going to show you guys the transformation, and you guys are going to go, wow, that's the transformation? That's how this goes? So, speaking of the Leader Class version of this figure, let's get into some scale comparisons. So, first scale comparison is the only scale comparison that matters for this one specific line. Here it is next to the Leader Class version, and we do have to go into aerial shot for this, and you will see a couple of the scale comparisons floating around there with the Fallen sitting across the side from here, and we will get into that in just a minute. So, there you have him with the Leader Class Optimus Prime. Here you have him next to Studio Series Jazz from the 07 movie. Here he is next to Studio Series Jolt, the guy who saves his neck. Spoiler alert. It's been over 10 years. If you haven't seen the movie in 10 years, then you got problems. Same thing goes for Dark of the Moon. Here he is next to Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen Soundwave. Honestly, not a bad figure, just highly, highly underpainted. Here he is next to the guy whom he's brothers with. Here he is next to the Fallen, who's lopsided from Sinister. And if you haven't checked out his review, I highly suggest that you do. So I will leave a link in the description to the Sinister Sunday review, where you can check it out. So we'll do that. And just because, here he is with the final Studio Series that I've got currently with me right at the moment. Here he is next to Rise of the Beasts Prime. So, there you have all of that. I do have the whips for Jolt. He just doesn't, I just don't have them equipped with him right now. So, now, to get into transformation with this thing. Now, like I said, transformation is basically, they took the Leader Class version of the Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime and shrunk it down. And this figure is basically like, well, how can we make money off of the same figure and yet still get people to like it? So, That's basically the whole thing. So if you know that one's transformation, then you know this one's transformation. So first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come to these bottom sections and just remove these. And you are going to want to transform these first. And parts forming, you know what? No, I'm not going to steal that from Emgo. Emgo does a good enough job. But yes, I do agree. Parts forming, seriously. And then to literally make the gun, you have to flip it out to do that. The Revenge of the Fallen one does not have this feature. However, if I'm not mistaken, the Revenge of the Fallen one only came with the blades. And you had to get the gun via a different version of Optimus Prime. So, yeah. But you have to remove these in order to get him. Just kind of untab it. They tab in very funkily. And yes, that is a word. Funkily. So, you're going to want to, like, just maneuver it enough to a point where you can get it untabbed and not mess up the entire transformation into truck mode and into robot mode. So do the same thing on the other side. You're going to take these, flip them out, fold in the guns, and so now you have both of the guns ready to go. So these are now accessories, and now this is what you're left with. So there is one accessory that might fly out of here at some point, but we'll catch up to it if it does. So first thing you're going to want to do to transform this thing after you've removed the guns is you're going to want to come to this tail bed section, and you're going to want to basically just kind of untab this good lord, why am I having a brain fart here? I live with mechanics. They'd kill me if I didn't know this part. Anyways, you take this piece here, you pull it back, and you're going to want to bring it up, rotate it all the way around like this, bring it down, and then fold this back. And you're going to want to take actually before you do that, you're going to want to take these pieces here, you're going to want to literally bring them up on the hinge, and you're going to want to rotate them around like so. So do the exact same thing on the other side, bring them up like so, rotate them around. Oh, and by the way, this video is sponsored by Planet Toys, where this was purchased. This was purchased for me to review, and by well, maybe not purchased for me to review specifically, but this was purchased for review by Planet Toys, and they gave this out to me specifically before they sell it on their site or they do something else with it. So just letting you know, this is brought to you by Planet Toys, a world built by collectors. So anyways, I will leave a link to their site in the description down below, so where you can check it out. So you're going to then come to these sections here, and you're going to want to literally just kind of separate them. Just kind of do that. Just kind of separate them. They're going to be on these hinges here. So they're going to come out on these hinges like that. And you're going to want to bring them all the way up after you've taken these smokestacks and folded them all the way down. They're on these rubber bits, so they shouldn't be too bad. But it's over 10 years old, so I would be very careful. So you're going to bring these up, and you're going to rotate them all the way in. And then push them all the way in on that hinge and make sure that they snap into place, and make sure these pieces are the only things that are moving. And even then, make sure they don't really move too much. So then push it down, make sure it clips into place, make sure this stays put, and you're good to go. Then you're going to come to the front of the truck, and you're going to want to just undo this, make sure this whole thing is completely done, this whole thing is separated. Then you're going to want to completely detach this whole top section from the bottom. You see where I'm going with this whole transformation thing here? I'm going to open it up like this. I'm going to fold this all the way down and make sure this comes out back like that. Once again, do this, or make sure that this piece comes up like so, and then you're going to want to kind of just collapse it in like that, just to make sure everything is all kind of just perfectly in sync. So, and I'm not talking about Justin Timberlake in sync. So, anyways, then you take these feet, as fucking disgusting as they are, and you just fold them down like so. Flip out the wheels, or rotate the wheels, excuse me. Then you're going to take this whole thing and accordion it like so. And then make sure the foot is in a perfect spot. Come to the bottom here, make sure this heel piece extends, so that way the foot has a little bit more leverage. Make sure this stays tabbed in, and you're almost done with the legs. Do the same thing on the other side. Fold that in. Make sure this piece stays. This piece was supposed to untab and rotate already. Make sure the heels pop out. Make sure they don't do that. Make sure the heels look like. Make sure the heels look like this. Make sure the legs look like this. So yeah, there you go. So now that the legs are all taken care of, and the backpack is for the most part taken care of, which you're going to want to make sure that this backpack section is like kind of pegged in on the backpack, but it's like not all the way pegged in. It's a really odd looking backpack, and if you can't manage to peg it in, do not worry. This backpack is not meant to be looking all the best. Like, literally, you're supposed to have it like tabbed in like so. There we go. Have it tabbed in, but if it comes apart, do not worry. Mistakes are meant to be made. So then come to the top section, kind of push these down, and then bring them out, and that will just in turn bring this side panel window in basically into the chest. So do the same thing on the other side. Kind of do that, and it will pop them out. Do that. Bring them all the way out, like so. Then this is kind of tricky. You're going to want to split the chest, bring it, okay. I find it easier to rotate them like this. Rotate the chest pieces like this. Then flip out the head. Oh, you gotta push it back first. Push it back, and then flip out the head. If you can. It's really rough to do so. This is a nightmare. Give me just a second, folks. We got it. We got it taken care of. So basically, you want the head to come up like this, and make sure this piece comes up through the front like that. Then you're going to bring the chest pieces all the way down like so, to make sure they tab into the rest of the faux truck chest. And then, yeah, like this. And then you bring this forward to make it complete, to complete the look. Or, like that to complete the look, if that's the way you want it to go. But then you bring these smokestacks back up, and you bring these back up. You then make sure these stay in place. If everything lines up just right, it should be okay. My copy of the toy, this piece of the chest, does not want to stay put. But that might just be because my copy is old and it's been ages since this thing has been really let out to play. Which is honestly a good thing. So if you guys have a figure like this, and this is what it looks like, do not fret. It's just an old toy. So, you're going to do that, and then as soon as you do that, you're going to want to bring this whole section all the way around on the... Sorry about that, folks. That was very, very, very annoying. I'm so sick and tired of this table getting very slippery when I do not want it to, and my tripod just flies off the table like it shouldn't. But the way you want these arms to go is you want to open this up, bring this out so you can get a good grip on the hand, flip out the hand, close this back up, make sure this comes out all the way, or rotates all the way at the bicep, then rotate that around, make sure this spike is pointing all the way up, and then bring this arm all the way around so that the knife is facing this direction. Sorry about that, folks. That just really annoys me that I can't keep my stupid camera up for 1 fucking minute. Then you move this around, and then you open this back up again. Rotate this all the way around. Flip out the damn hand. Gah! Close it back up. As I said before, it's an old figure. It's a pain in the butt. It's a pain in the ass. So, there we go. There he is in robot mode. We're not done yet. We need to get him with his guns in his hand. So, put him in the guns in his hand, just like so. This side's extremely loose for no reason, but you have Optimus Prime in his robot mode, and I dare say that's a nice looking robot mode. Only one problem. The transformation from vehicle mode to robot mode was pure hell. I would not recommend this on my worst enemy. Ever. So, yeah, and if you guys did notice, the one feature with this guy is, we're going to open up the chest here. We're going to open this all back up again, and mostly regret every single life decision that brought you here. There we go. Make sure that covers up the face. And it already dislodged itself because it's an old toy, but this Optimus Prime outmatched all the other Optimus Primes because it came with a Matrix of Leadership from the movie. And this is about accurate size, and you can totally take the Fallen, and you can totally stick it in his hands, and now he's got the Matrix of Leadership. So there you go. So we'll move him back off to the side here once again. So there we go. And to put it back in the chest, all you gotta do is literally there's this little form factor that fits right there. And you have to push down on this and push on the Matrix at the same time. That is a horrible gimmick. You should not ever need to do that. I don't know why Hasbro ever designed it that way, because that will just puts pressure on these joints, and that will just occurs to snapping. So now then to close it back up, you literally just push this back up and make sure all of these are in the right orientation here, and just bring that push that all the way back, bring this all the way down. Oh, I missed one step. You're going to want to take these and bring them up. If you can. If you can, bring them up on... There we go. Jeez. That did not need to be as hard as it was. Anyways. So you do that. That's what she said. Anyways, so do that and straighten everything out once again. And there you have, like I said, Optimus Prime in his robot mode. And it's a nice robot mode, and for the time, this was cutting edge. Although, that was pure fucking hell to get to. Just absolute pure hell. I would never recommend that on my worst enemy. Like I said, there are some figures that I do like, and there are some figures that do not make sense to me. This one, it makes sense to have it, but it doesn't make sense as to why the transformation sucks. Like, seriously, it's a legitimate slight retool of our big guy. And speaking of big guy, here he is next to our big guy. And like I said, the difference is uncanny. Like, the differences are just very uncanny as to how much they literally did with this thing. Not a big fan of the rusty color, but at the same time, it's more screen accurate than the gray. So, There he is next to Leader Class Optimus Prime from Revenge of the Fallen. Here he is next to... I'm going to scoot him back a little bit. Here he is next to Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen Soundwave. This is definitely not my finest review. Here he's next to Studio Series Jolt. Here he is next to, and finally, here he is next to Spilled Guts. So, all things considered, if I had to rank this on a scale out of 1 to 10, for the time that this came out, this thing was cutting edge, okay? Like, this thing was very, very cutting edge. Like, this thing was, like, brand new, and this was, like, the masterpiece, like, borderline masterpiece figure that you wanted to get. There was no other figure that you could possibly get that you wanted more than this one, if you could find it. I was not one of those kids who could find this one, and I also was not one of those kids who could find the Leader Class version. I ended up getting the Leader Class version way later in life. And I ended up getting it for a steal. That's why I have it. This one here was provided to me by Planet Toys, a world built by collectors, and you can go check them out down below, to which I will leave a link in their site, or a link to their site down below. But if I had to rank this figure for the time that it came out, this thing was like cutting edge. If I was to rank it now, it's still pretty cutting edge, but I do not like the transformation. It's like... you have all of the pieces there for a very good cohesive figure. Like, in a weird way, I feel like this was the very first Studio Series figure. Like, honestly, I really do feel like this was the very, very first Studio Series idea. Like, this was the idea that we could have all of the accessories, all of the things that we wanted with a figure, still have it look somewhat screen accurate, have it look very, very nicely detailed, painted, have all of the cool little bits and bobs and the cool shit from the movie, and make it seem presentable on our shelf. And for a while, this sufficed for everybody. Like, this was everybody's go-to figure for, like, if you were to go for a Voyager class Optimus Prime, for the time, this was the one you wanted. 2007 brought us a lot of weird toys, but 2009 was when we started to really understand what people wanted. And in 2013, when we started to get mainline, like really borderline good figures, like well, not good figures, but we started to get like mainline figures that were very, very accurate. They just did not come with very accurate weapons. So when Studio Series came along and said, we'll take that concept and we'll just do that, we'll just basically do what they did with this, I honestly have to commend them for doing that, because this was in a lot of ways, like I said, the very beginning stepping stones. So, taking all of this stuff into consideration, I'm going to leave this as a 9 out of 10. Even though the cancerous and shitty transformation exists, I'm not going to ding it for that. So, yeah. This is Thomas One saying, don't forget to subscribe for more content. Don't forget to leave a like on this video. Don't forget to check out Planet Toys, a world built by collectors. If you haven't heard me already say it a few times in this video, I love them. But anyways, they have all the cool stuff where you can get your Transformers needs. And you can and don't forget to subscribe to iStar552, Bravely GG, Take Along Productions, Optination Review, Beastman Reviews, Patrick with the Y, Riveted Reviews, Riveted Rail Fan, Jordy's Rail Fan Jordy's Rail Fan Videos, and this is Thomas Fan1 saying don't forget to do all that stuff I said, and don't forget to keep playing with your toys. Goodbye.